about a little child that we recently managed. This was a very interesting child that we had taken up and very challenging as well. A 14-month-old boy unfortunately fell down from the first floor and he was found completely unconscious, and the worst part was he started having continuous fits when he was found. The distraught parents could not believe their eyes that the little one had fallen down, and when he was unresponsive, that was the last thing that they would have ever imagined. They rushed to the nearby hospital, but nothing could be done there. They went to 3 hospitals before reaching the Columbia emergency. Now, when the child presented to us, he was continuously having seizures or fits, as we say, and we noticed that his right side of the body was not moving. He also had significant swelling of the scalp, so we knew at the outset that this was a significant fall from the first floor in a little toddler. We knew that there might have been a skull fracture and brain bleeds, which is causing him to have fits. So immediately the team got ready and did everything possible to resuscitate the child. Unfortunately, his blood pressure was low and he was losing consciousness, so he had to be put on the ventilator. All the emergency things were done at the right time and his blood pressure came up. Parents were extremely distraught. In this COVID situation, we had to tell them that we had to go through the regular COVID test as well. Parents were confused, as this was a completely playful and a normal child. Why on earth would he have COVID? But we explained that this is as per hospital protocol and it is for the safety of the child, the family, as well as the medical community. And what was surprising to all of us was that his COVID test came positive. This was a huge shock because we had now 2 problems to deal with, a severe brain injury as well as the COVID infection. However, we took it up as a challenge. The most important thing here, which was on our side, is the trust of the family. They said, do whatever it takes, but hopefully the child will come out alive. We explained the risk and we went ahead. The CT scan was not very encouraging at all. Multiple skull fractures, multiple areas of bleed and bruising of the internal tissues and the brain. That probably resulted in the right side of his body not moving. However, we lost no hope and the entire team continued to do their best effort in first reducing the brain pressure. We had put him on medical coma for about 3 days and kept his brain completely quiet, taking over all the rest of the body functions. And slowly we noted every nurse in her shift would be excited to see that the little one started moving his limbs, started opening his eyes and started responding. On day 3 we repeated the scan again and things were actually getting better. Initially the COVID didn't trouble us a lot. About 4 or 5 days later, he even came out of the ventilator and started responding and recognizing the parent. Unfortunately, because of the COVID, he could not see his parents very frequently. And imagine a little infant in the COVID ICU looking at all the doctors and nurses in PPE. He hardly could recognize any of us. But still, the wonderful care by all the nurses made him begin to respond. By the first week, he was off all the supports. He was off the oxygen, he was taking feeds well, and he even began to smile. But after the first week, unfortunately, he started going into one of the rare but recently recognized conditions called as the post-COVID syndrome. Now what happens here is the inflammation in the body takes over and then starts getting organ damage again. So we had certain inflammatory markers that we saw in his blood were rapidly rising. Again, the team was at alert. The parents gave us their full trust and we had explained to them that this is a possibility. We started the immunomodulators for the child and within 4 to 5 days again, the child began to improve. The most important thing is when he went home with a smile and almost began to walk with the movements of the right side. Today, he comes for follow-up and the most stunning experience is to see him walking around smiling and playing with us. ಇವತ್ತು ಸಾರ್ಥಕನ ನೋಡಿ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವ್ನು ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಫೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಈ 1 ತಿಂಗಳು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ, ತುಂಬಾ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ರಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾ?
ತುಂಬಾ ನಾವು 15 ಡೇಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಪಪ್ಪು ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಫುಲ್ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿದೆ, ಮನೆಗೂ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫುಲ್ ಖುಷಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಇದೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗು ಮನೇಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಖುಷಿನೇ ಅಷ್ಟು. ನಾವು 15 ಡೇಸಿಂದ ಏನು ಅವ್ನು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಇದೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಂಬಿಕೆನೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಫುಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ, ಮನೇಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿಯೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಹೌದು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಆದರೆ ಇದು ಒನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಟೀಮ್, ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ?
ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇನೇ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಧೈರ್ಯನೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೇ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನರ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ನೀವುಗಳು ತುಂಬ ನಮಗೆ ಕೋಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೋಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದೇ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಪು ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಏನೂ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ನಂಬಿಕೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದೇ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದು ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು.
ಟೀಮ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸು, ನರ್ಸಸ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀಮ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಕೋಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೋಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ, ಬೇಗನೂ ರಿಕವರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಈಗ ಏನೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಈ ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ಕೊಲಂಬಿಯಾ ಏಷ್ಯಾಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ಯಾರು ಏನು ಭಯ ಪಡೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೋಪ್ರೇಷನ್ಸು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದು ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೋಬೋದು.
ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಅವ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಥರ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಏನು ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನಮಗೆ.
ಅಂದರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲು, ಕೈ, ತಲೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೋಸು, ಆಚೆನೇ ಬಿಡ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹಿಂದೆನೇ ಇದ್ದು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ತೋದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಆಟ ಆಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಟ ಆಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಖುಷಿ ಪಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ.
ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಭಯ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ?
ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಭಯ. ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ತೊಂದರೆನೇ ನಮಗೇನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿಂತೆನೇ ಇವಾಗ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.